In Kenya's highlands, green hills of coffee plants roll on endlessly. These regions sit at elevations ranging between 1,500 to 2,100 meters above sea level, the sweet spot for growing exceptional Arabica coffee. And from here, some of the world's best Arabica coffee makes its way to your cup. According to historical facts, coffee first arrived in Kenya in 1893. For more than a century, it had shaped the country's economy and history. In fact, in the 1980s, coffee contributed up to 40% of Kenya's foreign exchange earnings, bringing in hundreds of millions of US dollars annually, according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS. But around the 1990s, the sector was shaken. Dipping global prices coupled with inconsistent weather patterns turned the coffee boom into bust.
For the past couple of years, we've been experiencing erratic weather patterns. There have been also increased in temperatures, prolonged drought, and also reduced rainfalls. And all this is also introducing pests and diseases to farming areas whereby there were none.
The needs for farming practices right now are guided by the changes that we have in climate. That requires us to look at the available resources, especially water resources, and make sure that those water resources are utilized optimally.
But it is not all doom and gloom. New practices are turning the tide in the sector, reviving hopes and rebuilding livelihoods. A certification program by the Rainforest Alliance is more than just a label. According to its champions, it represents a new way of farming, one that integrates agroforestry, water conservation, and biodiversity protection.
40% of total national production in Kenya is Rainforest Alliance certified. Going forward, we've seen many more farmers coming on board because they have realized the value of Rainforest Alliance certification.
We have seen a lot of benefits with certification because certification has kept us astride in areas of labor management, environmental stewardship, issues of chemical and chemical use and stewardship, by ensuring that all the chemicals that we use here are those that are recommended, those which are not banned, those which are not flagged, and we engage in sustainable production of coffee, employing various activities that make sure that we take care of the environment. Those would be namely sustainable region practices that include mulching, which the team has seen here. That includes use of erosion basin, irrigation basin, changing from overhead irrigation to basin irrigation.
The Rainforest Alliance is a global non-profit organization that has worked with coffee farmers in Kenya since 2010. Its members report that sustainably grown coffee is unlocking premium markets and providing farmers with higher incomes per bean in a world increasingly being impacted by climate change.
Before certification, we used to receive 500 million, Kenya shillings 500 million per year from sales of coffee. But after certification, we have improved 3 times and we are receiving Kenya shillings 1.8 billion every year.
We are receiving about 4.5 million kilograms of cherry per year. Well, we have seen a progressive increase from 100 shillings and above, which is a good output or income for the farmers. And this year we saw about 148 being the highest per kilogram of cherry, which is excellent.
Mchana Coffee Farm is one of the beneficiaries of the Rainforest Alliance certification program. They say the struggle for water highlights the difficult balance between the coffee farming industry and growing residential estates like the Tattoo City.
We have changed from sprinkler overhead to basin irrigation so that we efficiently use the available water resources, that now also the area that we are in is changing from agriculture to industrial residential area that increases competition for water, for agriculture and domestic use.
More farmers around the country are becoming more conscious about sustainable farming practices. They believe some traditional practices like agroforestry helped to restore balance in ecosystems and should be revived at scale.
It is very important for the whole world to stop deforestation. Deforestation leads to loss of forest cover, and forest cover is what supports life on the planet Earth. With the continued loss of forest cover, from which agriculture is contributing 25% of total loss, it will be very difficult for future generations and any kind of life to support on the planet Earth.
Despite the challenges endured by Kenya's coffee farmers, the country's coffee exports grew by 12% in 2024, reaching 53.5 thousand tons, up from 47.8 thousand tons the previous year. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, KNBS, the rise was driven by stronger demand in key markets, earning the country $38.4 billion, the equivalent of $296.8 million compared to $251 million in 2023. Now, the surge underscores coffee's enduring role as one of Kenya's most valuable export crops and an assurance of a steady supply of the aromatic beverage for coffee lovers globally.